Beneath the seemingly benign surface of Craigslist's classified ads, where bargains and job opportunities abound, lies a darker realm that few dare to acknowledge. Welcome, dear listeners, to a journey through the shadowy depths of Craigslist, where ordinary transactions take a turn towards the macabre. These tales of deceit, desperation, and danger will unfold before you, revealing the eerie consequences of trusting strangers in the digital age. Prepare yourself for a collection of creepy Craigslist horror stories, each one a chilling reminder of the unseen perils lurking within everyday online exchanges. Let's delve into the unknown, shall we?
Story 1. The Cutting Edge of Rage. In a quaint Bloomfield neighborhood where the mundane meets the bizarre, I found myself entangled in a surreal ordeal that blurred the lines between a routine beauty appointment and an outright assault. My name is Evelyn Carter, and this is the narrative of how a simple quest for a new look led to an encounter I'd never forget. It all started when I stumbled upon an ad on Craigslist. The stylist, who referred to herself as Freddie, promised a transformative hairstyling experience right in the comfort of one's home. The convenience was tempting, and her portfolio, vibrant with diverse and stylish cuts, sealed my decision. Little did I know, this choice would plunge me into a situation far removed from the usual stylist-client relationship. Freddie, or Miriam Simpson as I later learned, was a 35-year-old stylist from Belleville with a reputation that was about to take a dark turn. On that fateful day of October 13th, she arrived at my apartment, her kit brimming with the promise of beauty and renewal. However, as the scissors snipped away, my anticipation turned to dismay. The reflection staring back at me was far from what I had envisioned. I voiced my dissatisfaction calmly, hoping for a resolution, or at the very least, an acknowledgement of the misstep. Instead, the air thickened with tension, a silent prelude to the chaos that was to unfurl. Words escalated into a heated exchange, and before I could grasp the gravity of the situation, Freddie unleashed a fury that left me reeling. A burst of pepper spray hit me squarely in the face, a blinding, burning torrent of pain. In the haze of my agony, she vanished, leaving me to grapple with the aftermath of her assault. The authorities were swift in their response, piecing together the identity of Freddie and launching a manhunt that culminated in her arrest on October 24th. Charged with aggravated assault and unlawful possession of a weapon, Simpson's actions that day unveiled a side of her far removed from the skilled stylist persona she portrayed online. Released on a $35,000 bail with a mere 10% option, the legal system seemed almost too lenient for the trauma inflicted. In the solitude of my apartment, nursing the injuries and the shock of the assault, I pondered the unexpected dangers lurking within the digital classifieds. The incident served as a harrowing reminder of the precautions one must take when inviting strangers into their personal space, a lesson learned in the most distressing manner. This story, while mine, is a cautionary tale for all who traverse the vast, unregulated expanse of Craigslist in search of services. Behind the allure of convenience and the facade of professionalism, there lies a potential for encounters with individuals whose intentions can swiftly spiral into violence. In seeking to alter my appearance, I had unwittingly exposed myself to a peril far greater, a cut that went deeper than hair, etching a memory of vulnerability and violation. Story 2. Nightmare Dream Home. In the heart of a seemingly benign neighborhood, Our tale of displacement and deceit unfolds, casting a shadow over what was meant to be a sanctuary for my family and me. I am Reggie King, and this is the story of how a dream home turned into a nightmare, thanks to a cruel hoax played out on Craigslist. Our journey to a new beginning was fueled by desperation to escape the deteriorating conditions of our previous rental. So, when we stumbled upon an ad for a house on the 5600 block of Garfield, it felt like fate was smiling down on us. The asking rent, a mere $1,180 for both deposit and the first month, seemed almost too good to be true. Little did we know it was. The man who posted the ad introduced himself as Peter Mumponda, claiming to hail from Latvia. Our communications with him were indirect, never once over the phone, always through texts or emails. He instructed us to wire the money to a Deborah Kelly in Ottumwa, Iowa, whom he claimed was his attorney. With the wire transfer confirmed, we moved into the house, finding the doors conveniently unlocked and a text from Mponda advising us to change the locks. It was an odd request, but in our eagerness, we complied. The illusion of our new life was shattered abruptly one Wednesday morning when the real world came knocking on our door, literally. The police arrived, accompanied by the legitimate property manager, demanding our immediate eviction. The porch became a monument to our despair as we scrambled to pack up our lives, the betrayal heavy in our hearts. Mponda had vanished into the ether, taking with him not just our money, but a piece of our trust and security. The real owner, it turned out, was continents away in Australia, unaware of the drama unfolding in their distant property. This episode taught us a harsh lesson about the shadows lurking on platforms like Craigslist, where scammers prey on the hopes of the desperate and naive. Ashley Danner from A1 Properties shared insights into the rampant issue of rental scams, advising diligence and skepticism as the best defenses. She noted how these fraudsters often undercut legitimate rental prices to bait their traps, making the deals irresistibly appealing but dangerously deceitful. We learned too late the golden rules of navigating the murky waters of online rentals. Never wire money to someone you haven't met. Insist on meeting the owner in person, for scammers often hide behind the anonymity of digital communications. Demand proof of ownership to verify you're dealing with the rightful landlord. Remember, if a deal seems too good to be true, it likely is. The painful ordeal of being uprooted from what we thought was our new home left a mark on us. The King's brush with the dark side of Craigslist serves as a cautionary tale to all. The scam perpetrated by Mponda and his accomplices not only robbed us of our money, but also our peace of mind, forcing us to confront the reality that not every listing leads to a home, and not every home is what it seems. Story 3, My Narrow Escape. In the aftermath of heartbreak and seeking solace from the remnants of a life once shared, I found myself aimlessly navigating the digital sea of opportunities. That's when an ad caught my eye, shining like a beacon through my despair. Caretaker needed for a remote sanctuary nestled in the untamed heart of the Appalachian wilderness. $300 a week with your own haven to call home. A chance to redefine your existence. My name is Jamie Ellis, age 48. Soul worn from the battles of love and life. To me, this was a siren song, offering an escape, a new chapter. The ad boasted of 100 souls who had reached out, touched by the same dream of seclusion and rebirth. So, when my phone broke the silence of my apartment, offering me a spot among the chosen, my heart leapt. The voice on the other end introduced himself as Jack. A meeting was set, a handshake away from what I hoped would be my salvation. Jack suggested a quaint diner for our meeting, a place where the world seemed simpler, tastes and smells grounding me in the moment. He was a large man, his frame commanding the space around him, yet his demeanor was warm, disarming. Beside him was a young man, introduced as his nephew, a towering figure with an unreadable expression. They proposed a journey to the farm, a preview of my potential new home, and eagerly I agreed. The journey led us deeper into the wilderness, away from the noise, away from the echoes of my past life. As the last signs of civilization faded, replaced by the dense, enveloping forest, a profound silence settled over us. Our vehicle eventually shuddered to a stop on a forgotten trail. Jack gestured towards a path leading further into the embrace of the forest, claiming we had equipment to retrieve. Following Jack's lead, the forest seemed to swallow us whole. The undergrowth clawed at my clothes, an untamed barrier to our passage. Suddenly, the air was torn by the sound of a gunshot, and agony exploded in my elbow. The world spun, and I caught sight of the nephew, gun in hand, as I fell and rolled into the sanctuary of the trees. Panic fueled my flight through the darkening woods, Jack's curses and gunfire haunting my every step. I became nothing more than a hunted animal, my blood a testament to my desperation. Time lost all meaning as survival became my sole focus. Eventually, guided by some divine grace, I stumbled upon a farmhouse. The family within acted swiftly, their actions a beacon of humanity in the darkness. The truth that unraveled in the days that followed was a tapestry of horror. Jack was in fact Richard Beasley, his nephew, Brogan Rafferty, accomplices in a sinister plot that had claimed the lives of 3 before me. Their ad was not a call to rebirth, but a lure to death's door in the Appalachian wilderness. The trial that followed sealed their fates, but the shadows of those woods linger with me. The promise of seclusion was a veil over a pit of despair, a trap I narrowly escaped. The whispers of the trees are now a constant reminder of the thin line between life and the void, a haunting melody of my narrow escape from becoming another forgotten whisper among the shadows.